Welcome back. It's David. This is The Awakening Druid. We've already covered the basic synopsis of, meat mech pilots and what a meat mech is. Now that you understand what a meat mech is and you realize that you are in fact a meat mech pilot, the next step is, of course, digging deeper. We've already taken a slightly deeper dive into the body, and now it's time to move on to part 2, the mind. So looking at it as a meat mech pilot, what is the mind? The mind is, of course, the control panel. It's the processing unit. It's what the higher self or the spirit uses to operate the meat mech, the body. So the mind basically is a two-part system. The first part is the conscious, and that's basically where you're aware of what you're doing. You're being intentional with your choices, your actions, and your thoughts. And the second part is the subconscious. That's like pretty much it's like autopilot. Now the first part, the conscious, when you're operating from the conscious state, you're operating from a place of awareness, of being present. You're paying attention to what's happening outside of you and inside of you at the present moment. You're not thinking about the past, rehashing things that happened, or worrying about the future and trying to predict what might go wrong or what could go wrong. You're just present. You're just aware of what's happening, and you're enjoying and you're actively engaging in your surroundings. This perspective comes from a place of operating from your higher self. The pilot is actually in control and making decisions based on the information that it's receiving. This is a heart-centered operation. Now onto the subconscious frame of mind. It is a ego-based, it is a fear-based, and it is a program-based sort of operation. This is when you're not consciously aware and you're not present, you're not thinking about what's happening. You're thinking about, again, the past or worrying about the future. You're living off of instincts, your animal instincts. It's just a lower vibrational state, and when you see a situation or you're experiencing a certain situation, you will either revert back to what happened in the past, and you'll be, oh, this is happening again. It always happens like this. It's always the worst luck. Things like that. It's not where you want to be operating from. So, the best analogy I can make for this is like if you're in stasis. Say you're taking a trip from one side of the galaxy to the other side of the galaxy, traveling at light speed, but it's still going to take 100 years. Obviously, you wouldn't make a 100-year trip, so at the start of the trip, you get into a stasis pod and you're going to be asleep for 97 years. During that time, you're on autopilot. The ship is flying itself based off of programming. When you're acting and living from your subconscious, at that moment, you're on autopilot. And most of us have received terrible, terrible programming as we grew up, from childhood into school, into, even into the job, in your adulthood. And things like your parents who weren't raised with the most awareness, or school systems. That's a whole nother video in itself, but the programming that you receive in schools is not for your highest good. Let's just put it like that. And a lot of religious-based living also creates limiting beliefs and diminishes the power of yourself. Now, throughout each and every day, we jump back and forth from subconscious to conscious, subconscious to conscious. The idea is to spend more and more time living in a present state of mind, really aware, really focused only on what's happening right now. A lot of us have these hurried thoughts, this constant barrage of thoughts coming. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Never taking the time to sit and be like, wow, this is a great moment. I'm here. And it can be something as simple as sitting at the house with the family, or with your girl, or with your boys. Either way, you're currently enjoying an opportunity, or you have an opportunity to enjoy the current situation. But instead of taking that time and focusing all your energy and intention on that moment, you allow your mind to take over. You're slipping out of the conscious and into the subconscious, and that's where negative thought loops habits, bad habits take over. It's diminishing your own ability to control your present situation. Allowing yourself to slip into the subconscious and be on autopilot too much can lead to very negative situations like feelings of low self-worth or no self-worth, living your everyday life with this lack mentality, like there's not enough, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, always worried about the next thing that you need to take care of. It's a primal fight or flight constant situation, and it's been manufactured to be that way by the powers that be. Also, while you're living in the subconscious or from an ego-based position or mentality, a lot of times you'll be out in public and say someone laughs, looking in your direction, your first response is to automatically assume that they're laughing at you because you feel that you deserve to be laughed at. So you have a low self-esteem and you assume everyone else feels that. Most of the time that's not even the case. So you need to start living your life in a different manner. The first thing you need to do, again, as I said, is to be more present. Every day, be intentional to be more present in the current moment. Not to just shut off those thoughts, to resist those thoughts of, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, or, man, last week this happened, last week this happened, last week this happened. That's not how you want to do it. Secondly, you need to start rewriting your programming. Get rid of all the negative programming that you received. And the best way to do that is to kind of imagine that you have a second self in the astral form. And actually you do, it's your higher self. But start giving that other self some authority, some power to be like your older brother or your big brother or your big sister or your guardian, whatever you want to call it. So when you get this feeling, this negative feeling, either fear or worry or doubt in yourself, allow yourself to say, whoa, I'm feeling something that's not very good. I'm feeling something that feels fear-based. And then allow your higher self, your guardian or your big bro to step in and say, and when I say this, I mean you step into the position of your higher self and become your higher self and look at you, the current you in your mind, as your little brother. You're not going to let somebody, shit talk him or talk him down or punk him down. You're going to get on that person's ass. Oh, you're no good. You step in and say, whoa, switch roles. I'm the boss now. That's fly. That person's awesome. You're awesome. Don't let that person tell you you're not. Let that go. And I'll give you some tips on how to do that. I'm going to go a little bit far to a field real quick and just step out to a kind of a more distant thing. Shield and transmute. Just practice this in your head in whatever form you need to. But just imagine you have a shield around you, and when you feel an attack coming at you, or low vibrational feeling, thought, whatever, understand that is a weapon coming at you. It's a metaphysical weapon. Shield yourself. Allow your higher self to step in and be like, boom. Just throw that metaphysical hand up and nothing can go through it. Allow that to happen. The hand catches it, and then it sinks down into the hand right here. In that metaphysical hand, there's the little fire that transmutes that negative. It burns all of the negative out of that energetic arrow. It becomes pure light. It becomes a positive energy. Then you can take that and feed it to yourself and boost yourself. That what was supposed to be a negative attack will become strength for you to do better. Just a little tactic. It may not feel like it's working at first, but make this a repetitive thing. Every time you feel this negative thought come, shield yourself so it doesn't hit you. And then allow that to sink down in whatever kind of pocket you can hold it in to transmute it. Use the light and the love that is in your heart for yourself and for those you care about. At the core of who you are, you truly are powerful and amazing, and you came here to do a lot. You just have to learn how to use the programming. So, in summary, it's like this. Your mind is the processing unit and it's the control panel for your Mech, and it's running on outdated and corrupted programming. So you just need to update your programming and upgrade your programming. Upgrade all the software so that when you do slip into autopilot, you fly a more aligned path. And then, on top of that, be intentional and be mindful to be present more and more every day. That's the basic rundown of the mind. There's more to it than that. We can go into the chakras and meditation, and these are tools that you can use to help you rewrite your programming. First, you have to become aware where you're slipping, and then second, you have to start rewriting that programming. Meditation is a huge tool for rewriting. Affirmations also are a huge tool for rewriting. There's tons of videos about affirmations, and there's tons of videos about meditation. I may do a video or two in the future about that. I definitely want to touch on the chakras. For me personally, one of the biggest tools that I've used and had the most success with rewriting my programming, that would be these right here. Look at that. Crystals. Say what you want about them. They're built with geometric, like sacred geometrical patterns. There seems to me to be a sort of energetic data held within that allows you to receive this energy from them, and they can take energy from you. So I use them. For example, I needed to forgive someone and I couldn't. I just picked up a piece of peridot. I did a little research, found out that peridot was the way to go. I went and bought it. It wasn't easy to find, but I went and found it. And I kept it with me, and I worked with it. I set my intentions with it. I charged it with my energy and asked it to help me find a way to let this hurt go. And after some time, maybe a month and a half, boom, there you go. I mean, it just got lighter and lighter until there was no more heaviness to the situation. So for me personally, I keep them with me all the time. I just like to work with them, and they work for me. One of my favorite, obviously, is this one right here. That thing is amazing. That is labradorite. Blue topaz. Banging, banging. And I mean, honestly, I've got a little collection. It helps you rewrite. It helps you reprogram.